Leaders become leaders because they were the best at their job, their task, their function. They are promoted and then left to their own devices to become a real leader. The lucky few actually get some training on what it means to be a leader. Very, very few, however, are ever taught how to coach others. The leader's job is to manage processes and build people. Everyone gets the manage processes part because that is easy to understand, and we all basically know the processes of the business. The build people part, however, absolutely requires an ability to coach adults. This takes training to master. Welcome back to this weekly edition, every Tuesday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We are bringing this show to you from our High Performance Center in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. Using a typical Lawson convenience store as a model, a franchise promotion website managed by fcconvenience.com estimates that when a store's monthly sales are 15 million yen, then the owner ends up with about 4.7 million yen after paying for stock. From that, they have to pay the franchise royalty fee as well as staff wages and overhead such as utility costs. In the end, their profit per month is 458,000 yen, or 5,496,000 yen per year, roughly $50,000 annually. In order to maximize income, the franchise owners adjust their personnel expenses because it is the only thing they can control. Japan's labor shortage is making it hard to recruit staff. Convenience store workers' average salary is 974 yen, or about $8.75 per hour, which hasn't gone up since 2013. Most non-Japanese who work at convenience stores are on student visas, and currently there are about 40,000 employed here. The Japanese government has included convenience store workers as a category for the new work visas being introduced. In other news, the majority of people aged under 50 who live in the three towns close to the site of the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster have no plans to return. Many former residents of Futaba, Namie, and Tomooka say they have established new lives elsewhere and that their adopted towns are more convenient. The residents of these three towns were subject to compulsory evacuation orders by the government following the crisis. Finally, police arrested 2 men on suspicion of trying to illegally bring fertilized eggs and sperm of Wagyu cattle into China last year. Chinese authorities prevented the suspects, who traveled by ferry with the sperm and the eggs stashed in containers, from entering the country, as they did not have a quarantine certificate. They were arrested when they returned to Japan. The arrest came as the Agricultural Ministry is tightening control on Wagyu reproductive material amid rising popularity of the Japanese beef overseas. This is episode number 81, and we are talking about the professional leader as coach. それでは行きましょう. So, let's get going. A consistent issue our clients raise with us concerns effective coaching. Becoming a leader is usually the result of demonstrating your own ability to get results. We promote the performers in the hope some of the pixie dust will get sprinkled around. The outcomes are often underwhelming. For the organisation to grow, it needs talent to be fostered right through the whole organisation. The natural owners of that fostering effort are the leaders. Coaching fails because of the poor quality of the processes being applied. In many cases, there is no real process at all. Here is a 7-step process which will vastly improve the coaching outcomes. 1, identify opportunities. The need may be obvious or circumstances may reveal a need. For busy leaders, selecting who to coach is a critical decision. The staff with the most untapped potential are probably the most attractive candidates. You can't do everything at once, so start with the option that will create the most value. We will get to everyone over time, but we need to prioritise our efforts. Number 2, picture the desired outcome. Coaching without a clear strategy often results in sporadic efforts, which ultimately lead nowhere. The coach must work with the staff member to arrive at a clear vision of what the improved state will look like. It is harder to target you haven't nominated. Creating a word picture of the desired outcome helps to keep the efforts focused, especially when the chaos of every day seems to conspire to ensure that you get distracted. 3, establish the right attitude. This sounds simple, but it is not. Snapping your fingers and presto, brilliant attitude comes out. Improved performance requires change, and everyone agrees in principle the change is necessary, but as long as it's not expected of them in practice. We need to know how our people will function in order to understand how to communicate the change need in a way that resonates with them and they want to be part of it. Learning to talk in terms of the individual's personal motivations is powerful. Reality check for leaders. Do you know this level of detail about your team? Number 4, provide the resources. The most expensive and highest value resource is your leader time to devote to coaching. It also requires a sincere personal commitment to see the person being coached succeed. A lot of successful people climbed over the bodies to get to the top and expect that is how everyone else should do it. Their attitude to coaching is usually negative. People develop in different ways and at different times. So making ourselves the only metric of success is pure folly. Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. The bestseller, Japan Sales Mastery, is the new Bible of selling in Japan. To sell to Japanese buyers, you need to create long-term partner-level trust, fully understand Japanese buyers' real needs, convince buyers with your solutions, overcome their hesitation, fear, and doubt, know how to ask for the order, ensure repeat orders. This book is the product of 30 plus years in the trenches selling in Japan. Order Japan Sales Mastery now. Welcome back. Let me introduce a couple of coming opportunities to you. Our one-day Step Up to Leadership course will run on May 24th and again on September the 2nd. Also, our 7-week Leadership Training for Managers course will start on June 3rd and run through to July 23rd. Another leadership training for managers course starts on November 5th and runs through to December 17th. Details are on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Back to where we left off. 5, practice and skill development. Make the time. Identify the correct skill set needed, explain it, demonstrate it, then let them practice it. There is a balancing act going on here, what we need to let go, but keep monitoring without micromanaging them. We all learn by making mistakes, and this is a fact we need to embrace. Encourage them to fail faster. Number 6, reinforce progress. Knowing and doing are sometimes related. Don't expect because they have learnt it, they are automatically going to do it. Check that there's no slipping back into the cuddly comfort zone as people revert to their old, better established habits. Habit is stronger than knowledge. Keep them accountable to continue to progress. Number 7, reward. What we reward gets repeated, and what gets repeated becomes a new habit. Give praise where it is specific, explaining exactly what they are doing that is good, rather than obtuse general statements of approbation. None of this is complicated. Common sense, though, is not always common practice. Executing these steps takes commitment, but the rewards are enormous. If your leadership team is coaching your key people using a solid process and your rival leaders are not, expect to win the war. Action steps: 1, identify opportunities. 2, picture the desired outcome. 3, establish the right attitudes. 4, provide the resources. 5, practice and skill development. 6, reinforce progress. And 7, reward. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It is awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I am here as a free resource to help you, so just let me know how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my weekly podcast. Look for the Leadership Japan series, the Presentations Japan series, and the Sales Japan series, wherever you get your podcasts. In episode 82, we are talking about using your hands. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you, and we've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.